I saw this tweet this morning. There's a very, very serious Overwatch 2 patch. Aaron tweeted out, question, what do you get when you collect every hot take on Twitter, assign it to an intern, and accidentally check it in to the live branch? Answer, today's patch. Enjoy. Patch notes, March 31st, 2023, Overwatch 2, WIP, for those who don't speak corporate, work in progress. Very serious patch notes, draft, do not publish. Developer note, test patch. These changes are only being applied to arcade mode for the moment because Aaron Keller claims he can convene with Pachimari, and they told him, or he can convene with Pachimari, and they told him to make this patch. He only plays the new arcade modes, so he shouldn't notice otherwise. Hero updates. All heroes have a new ultimate voice line. Keep 50% of ultimate charge when swapping heroes. Developer comments, veteran players have an advantage over newer ones when it comes to voice line recognition. In order to level the playing field, we've written and recorded new ultimate voice lines for every hero. To help players learn these new callouts, we've also increased the amount of ultimate charge retained from swapping heroes. What? They buffed it to 50%? What are you doing? Tank roll passive. Gain ultimate charge is 10% faster. The hero that gets the final blow on a tank gains a significant amount of ult charge. What? Dude, what in the f does that mean? If you kill a tank, you get instant ult. Developer comments, tank heroes are the raid bosses of teammates. You should be fairly rewarded for defeating them, right? Damage roll passive. Heal 50 health on elimination. Developer comments, it is frustrating when you dive the backline by yourself and you get no healing. Real. Especially when your team's support heroes are busy respawning. This change should help keep you alive at least. Support roll passive. Gain 30% increased movement speed for 4 seconds when reaching low health. Speedy granny. It's tough to stay alive when the flankers are about. This change should even help out the odds a bit when you get ambushed. Please don't use this offensively. Alright! The changes. Doomfist. Developer comments, the empowered fist can also level a skyscraper or open a glass jar in a single attempt. Seismic Slam can be empowered by a rocket, or can be empowered by a power block. Wait, what? Seismic Slam can be empowered by power block. Oh. Damage increase from 50 to 75 when empowered. Enemies hit by the shockwave are launched into the air. Does this also mean that the punch is either going to be insane or it's going to do nothing? Uh-oh. Diva. Developer comments, it turns out the beams that used to destroy projectiles also really hurt when used on people. After deflecting a projectile, Defense Matrix deals 30 damage to enemies within its area of effect over 1 second. Defense Matrix killing blow grants an additional 5 ult charge. Wait, so DM reflects damage? Oh my god. Developer comment, Joker Queen yells so loud that she damages the eardrums of her foes. Don't worry though, it's still a friendly shout of encouragement for her allies. Applies a bleed to enemies in range when activated. Orisa, developer comments, it is believed that the threat of Orisa's aerial body slam is the biggest crime deterrent in Numbani. Javelin spin while in the air, Orisa spin pulls Orisa towards her facing direction. Wait, so helicopter Orisa's gonna be real now? Increases falling speed and deals damage to an area when Orisa lands on the ground. Wait, so you can helicopter up and then fortify and go... That's awesome. Ramatra, developer comments, Ramatra is a lot more effective when he's in Nemesis form, so he'll stay like that until everyone has suffered as much as he has. Omnic form is now disabled. Ramatra is now always in Nemesis form. Bonus armor decreased from 225 to 125. Aww. Void Barrier moved to ability 1. Now has 1 second cooldown when disengaged. Wait, why did Ramatra get nerfed? Like, not trying to be that guy, but like, Ramattra actually got nerfed. That sucks. I couldn't charge the enemies that were in the air, so I asked Torbjorn to help me out. Now I am the ultimate crushing machine, even in the sky. Charge now grants flight. Hold jump to float up and crouch to go down. Steering increased by 33%. I will deal with the Pharah myself. Roadhog. Developer comments, in order to align Roadhog as a tank who punishes bad positioning, we've decided to increase the range of Hook to make all positioning bad positioning. Range increased by 50%. Sigma. Developer comments, gravitic energy is quite potent. If it's strong enough to lift a giant rock, it can lift anyone. Enemies hit by the impact of accretion rock are knocked back and experience low gravity for 4 seconds. Cooldown decrease from 10 to 8 seconds. Okay. Winston. Dev comment. Winston. Winston? Winston. I think this was a great opportunity to use Winton, but that's okay. I think that was probably a call to the Winton meme, but they did it their own way. Developer comment. Wrecking Ball unleashes his signature moves that made him the champion of the Scrapyard Battle Arena. Grapple Claw. Maximum speed is temporarily increased when bouncing off walls. Minefield. Mines slowly move towards nearby enemies. Oh my god. That is gonna be terrifying. Zarya, dev comments. Gravity gravitates. That's just science. Gravitation Surge moves towards Zarya after deploying. Particle Cannon. Self-knockback on secondary fire. Scales with energy level. Wait, so if you're like max charge, can you go really, really high? Ash. Dev comments, in order to be more accurate to the fantasy, dynamite fire now spreads between players. Fire spreads to nearby enemies up to 4 times. Oh my god. Bastion. Developer comments, Bastion downloaded a software update upgrading his configuration assault, allowing it to simulate his old configuration tank, while active tactical grenade has a 0.5 second cooldown. Oh my god. Cassidy. Developer comment, Cassidy can now dodge anything that his cat-like reflexes. It's a bit rough on his spine though. Combat roll. Now costs regenerating stamina instead of having a cooldown. Dodge all damage when combat roll is active. Ammo reload decreased from 6 to 2. Echo. Developer comments, Echo now uses more of her fingers when shooting enemies. Now fires 2 additional projectiles. Damage projectile decreased from 17 to 12. So now instead of using 2, she uses 4 fingers? That's awesome. Genji, developer comments, spamming a voice line for healing finally does something after everyone else has tuned you out. Sometimes Genji heals himself when requesting healing. Ah, the true buff that Genji honestly needed. Hanzo spent many years mastering the bow and geometry to pull off this feat. It definitely has nothing to do with magic. Storm arrows ricochet towards the sonic arrow. What if you shoot a sonic arrow with storm arrow? We must test. Junkrat. Junkrat was a bit careless when packing his grenades, so now they spill out of his pockets whenever he knocks himself back. Drop grenades when launching yourself with concussion mine. May. We noticed a decrease in May players helping their team group up and spawn with Ice Wall. This is a core to May's gameplay, so we added an additional ice pillars to help facilitate it. Spawn more ice pillars and have slightly different configurations. Okay. Farah, rocket jump sounds dangerous, but in a viable means of travel when you can afford enough fuel. Rockets no longer deal self-damage and have increased knockback. Barrage can be knocked back while Farah can be knocked back while barrage is active. Barrage rockets now have self-knockback. Fuel decreased by 33%. What happens if you just ult the ground? I'm curious. After getting shot one too many times, Reaper is no longer poses in place before teleporting, despite it looking very cool. Wait, after getting shot one too many times, Reaper no longer poses in place before teleporting, despite it looking very cool. Movement is no longer locked after confirming a teleport location. Oh, that's funny. Okay, I like that. Sojourn hasn't been performing quite up to our expectations after reducing her one-shot potential. To remedy this, we've added a very fair stun to her kit. I hate you guys. Now impacts enemies, dealing 75 damage, launching them upwards, and knocking them down for 1.5 seconds on Power Slide. Soldier 76. Why leave it why leave it on the ground when you can keep it in your pocket instead? Biotic Fuel now attaches to Soldier 76 when activated. Real, that's actually unironically good. Sombra. As a safety measure, the translocator will forcibly separate solid objects that have been teleported into each other. Unfortunately, this process is also quite painful. What? Translocator now deals 120 damage in the area at the teleport destination. Projectile speed increased from 25 to 40. Cooldown reduced from 10 to 6 seconds. So wait, you can throw your translocator at people? That's funny. Symmetra, it turns out there was a setting on sentry turrets that let them immediately target enemies when thrown. Symmetra estimates that this change increases their efficiency by 32.33 per repeating, of course. Sentry turrets targets can now eliminate enemies, can now target enemies while in flight. Oh my god. Turrets have 60% damage resistance before sticking to terrain. Torbjorn, we noticed Torbjorn relies a little too heavily on his turret to deal consistent damage, and you won't believe this one simple balance change that fixes that and makes him 1000% overpowered. Now also uses Rivet Gun and Forge Hammer to ignite enemies, dealing additional 30 damage over time. Oh, what the f***? Tracer now leaves a vacuum when she recalls into the past. We are pretty sure this is how time travel works, and will be taking no questions. Pulls in enemies nearby when activated. Arming time increased from 1 to 2 seconds for Pulse Bomb. Widowmaker. Poisonous bullets don't work as quickly as normal ones do, but at least there's more room for counterplay. Dude, they are hard trolling with this, and I'm completely here for this. Widow's Kiss. Critical hits deal their damage over 3 seconds as poison. Widowmaker can see poison enemies through walls. Now support. Ana. Turns out whatever is in those syringes hurts a lot more when applied to the forehead. Biotic Rifle can now headshot enemies. Baptiste. Rumor has it that Baptiste is the record holder for both high and log jump. Jumping with Exo Boots has more horizontal distance, scaling with the amount of charge. Hold jump after using Exo Boost to keep bouncing. What? Brig. Whip shots now whips you. Works better if you say wee while flailing about. Whip shot. Brig is pulled towards the flail head. Is this like grapple? Is this like reverse Roadhog hook? That's awesome. Kiriko. Kienza is a big town, and Kiriko has a lot of protecting to do. This change should help her to get where she needs to go in a timely fashion, especially during rush hour. Swift Step. Range increased from 35 to 350 meters. Cooldown now scales with distance traveled. Oh. Lucio. We were alerted that sound waves are able to knock back entire heroes, but couldn't do anything to projectiles. We've corrected this logistical inconsistency. Now deflects projectiles. Cooldown decreased from 4 to 3 seconds. Mercy. Our stats show that the Battle Mercy playstyle isn't as common as we hoped. Here's a small change that should nudge her damage potential in the right direction. Ammo increased from 25 to 125. And projectile speed increased from 50 to 125. Moira. You know that random orb that heals you from across the map? Or sorry, that killed you from across the map? That was 100% intentional. Biotic orbs now follow Moira's every command, though they only understand stop and go. Pressing the ability input while biotic orb are active causes them to stop or start moving. Oh my god. And Zenyatta finally. Zenyatta calls this technique the flying kick. But since he's always floating, it should be just called kick. Launches Zenyatta in his facing direction when used in the air. Holy shit, this is a patch. This is a patch, let me tell you.